Namaskar and welcome once again to DD India, India's voice to the world. And today we are focusing on the results from the Indian state of Bihar. A massive electoral mandate there for the ruling coalition, the NDA, leading now in 195 seats out of a 243-member House. To see how the numbers add up and also how they stack up, we will be breaking that up. But first, let's look at the headlines we are following at this hour. In the eastern state of Bihar, the latest trends show the National Democratic Alliance races past the 3/4 majority mark as counting continues amidst tight security. The stellar performance by the BJP and the JDU, and there's massive celebrations by the NDA supporters at both offices, the BJP and JDU offices. In other news, the Delhi bomber Dr. Umar Mohammad's house in Jammu and Kashmir has been demolished by the security forces. Two hybrid terrorists, Shabir Najjar and Shabir Mir, have been arrested on Thursday. And security forces have tightened security around Delhi as the probe into the deadly Red Fort blasts expands. And traffic police have asked travelers especially to reach early to airports and railways to avoid queues. So let's get you the results. The BJP-led NDA is heading towards a landslide victory in Bihar in the state elections, and the opposition Mahagathbandhan is a distant second in the high-stakes electoral battle. The ruling National Democratic Alliance is on course for a sweeping victory in Bihar. As counting progressed, the NDA surged to a lead of 186 seats within the dominant coalition surge. The BJP was leading in around 89 seats and the JDU follows with 79 seats. And Chirag Paswan's LJP was ahead in 22 seats and Jitin Ram Manjhi's Hums party as leading in 4. So collectively it is in fact well over the number of 186, close into the 190s figure. Now the Mahagathbandhan appears headed for major setbacks. Trends show that the alliance is trailing significantly with its long-standing weak link, in fact, which is the Congress party, struggling once again. After round 6 of counting, the Rashtriya Janata Dal leader and former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav, managed to secure a minor lead in Raghopur. He was trailing for 5 rounds, has now managed to come back and has secured a 114-vote lead in this assembly that he had led for a long time. He's currently leading in only 32 seats, that is, his party is currently leading in 32 seats, despite Tejasvi Yadav's vigorous campaign against the Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Now, the Congress's underperformance also needs to be acknowledged. It remains a recurring pattern within this alliance. In the 2020 Bihar Assembly elections, the party had contested 70 seats, but it won only 19. And now it is in single digits, actually, leading only in 5 seats. And the BJP MP Manoj Tiwari said that the mandate reflects the people's trust in Prime Minister Modi and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, adding that the focus now should be on winning hearts through sensitive governance. Here's what he said.
हैप्पी हर तरफ है बिहार के। मुझे लगता है कि जो ये रिजल्ट आया है इसकी समीक्षा बहुत सूक्ष्म करनी पड़ेगी। हाउ टू विन द हार्ट्स ऑफ पीपल, ये विषय चलना चाहिए। लोगों का दिल कैसे जीतें ये मोदी नीतीश जी से पता चले। इस जीत का कारण एकमात्र है, वो है मोदी जी और नीतीश जी में बिहार की जनता का विश्वास। ये जीत है विश्वास की।
And let me introduce you to our guests who continue to be with us. Praful Ketkar, editor of Organizer, is with us, joining us via video link. Amit Mukherjee, senior journalist associated with DD India, is with us in the studio. And our correspondent Deepika Mehto is with us also, and she is joining us from the BJP headquarters in Patna. Let's go to you, Deepika, first, because clearly, I mean, we saw the atmosphere. Siddharth was at the BJP headquarters here in Delhi. Tell us, similar scenes obviously there, or probably much bigger celebrations in Patna.
Good afternoon, Mark. After the Battle of Bihar that has been clearly won by the NDA alliance, I would now show you the visuals of how the people are celebrating this huge victory, this clean sweep by the NDA alliance. You can see so many Rolwalas have come here. There are fireworks going on. There are the flags, BJP flags, which are being waved by the Karyakartas, by the party workers here. Continuous celebration is erupting here. People are here, erupting here in joy, because it's been days of campaigning, it's been days of hard work, it's been days of aggressive campaigning, and you can see so many female Karyakartas, female workers are also here joining this celebration, because female played a huge role in this entire election. Not only they turned out in huge numbers when we talk about the voting percentage, but they played a huge and massive role, because there was this MY factor which was being talked about, and that MY factor has revolved this time around on Mahila, which is women, and youth factor. So now you can see the result that the alliance, it's the alliance that is celebrating this huge victory today. The alliance of the JDU, the alliance of the BJP, celebrating this huge victory, and the celebrations are supposed to go on for hours today, because this is a huge victory for the entire NDA alliance this time. Mark.
Indeed, Deepika, do stay with us. We'll bring you in to the discussion as well. Let me turn to Praful Ketkar, whose whose analysis has really enlightened us over the last 1 hour. Mr. Ketkar, the figures of the RJD are clearly falling now. In fact, the party has fallen below 30. There are 29 seats. What does this reflect now for this party, which has a strong presence in Bihar? And, I mean, would it be that perhaps its coalition partners were also pulling it down? How would you view this? We know we've talked about the winners. Let's look at the losers for a little while.
I'll just add one more news to, your, initial comments on the losing part, Mark, that Mr. Tejasvi Yadav himself, after 8th round, is just leading by 585 votes. Right. In fact, in between a couple of rounds, he was trailing by around 1200 to 1500 votes. So that shows that when it comes to converting the vote share into the seats, the most critical factor is how does synergy pan out among the allies. Here, again, I'm insisting that when it comes to the vote share, RJD has almost retained its vote share. It is still, coming up to 22 to 23%. So BJP and RJD are having just a, equal amount of vote share. In fact, RJD is leading by one vote percentage.
Right.
But what is, the game changer is the JDU, which is around 20% of vote share, while the Congress, is just around 8%. That is the differentiating factor. When it comes to the LJP, again, LJP has contributed significantly with 6% vote share, but that is a very solid vote share that has got transferred to BJP and JDU. So that clearly shows that when it comes to RJD, RJD relied too much on the MY, the Muslim Yadav kind of combination.
Yes.
I don't think even that has worked very well. Secondly, that is the Also, the perception about the criminalization, the corruption that has marred a lot. The statements like if we lose, if we Tejasvi Bhaiya wins, then the katta will come out. That is the pistols, the handmade pistols will be used. So all these factors have combined together. And I also believe, Mark, that is a complete strategic failure on the part of Indian National Congress and especially Mr. Rahul Gandhi. When there were certain incidents, in Bihar, which could have been used to question the law and order situation, he stuck to one point agenda, that is vote chori, that theft of votes, and discrediting the most important constitutional body like Election Commission.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that didn't go down well when it comes to the voters of Bihar. And that has combinedly pulled down RJD and Congress. So what we are seeing now is actually Congress is down by 15 seats, while RJD is down by 46 seats as far as the current leads are concerned. And those red dots on your screen clearly show what is going on the ground.
Amit, how would you, assess the way in which the RJD seems to be dealing with this poll? Because as Mr. Ketkar was saying, that they actually have the highest vote share currently, but it's worked out only to 30 seats, and it's coming down actually to 29, and very difficult to hold their margins even in the seats that they are leading. How would you assess this? I mean, because it appears that, one would look at, say that the vote share seems to be higher, but it's not translating into seats.
See, Mark, again, if you look at the Indian election structure, the distribution of the constituencies and the population of the constituencies. So a large number of vote share doesn't really translate to a larger number of seats, because, the population of constituencies vary. For example, if A constituency has about 1,000 voters, constituency B has, say, for example, 250 voters. So so that kind of when that kind of mathematics is there, which clearly shows that it doesn't mean that even if people vote one party in large numbers, that is going to translate to for them to
contested many more
large
seats.
number of seats. Yeah. But yeah, again coming back, if you see the performance of RJD and Congress. Now Congress has been reduced to a single party almost now. It's struggling with now 4 seats right now, and RJD is down to 28, which is almost 45 seats down. So clearly, the kind of promises they have been making, it has not, struck well with the population of Bihar. They have been wanting some concrete.
Also, on the issues of organization, maybe the parties are not as strong organizationally as Mr. Ketkar was saying, that the BJP has a very strong organizational structure. But let's go across to Abhishek Mahajan, our colleague who is standing by with the touch screen, as we call it. He's going to break up the map of Bihar and tell us who's gained where. Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Mark. NDA ship sails towards its sweep with 190 plus seats, and what appeared to be a close contest early on between NDA and Mahagathbandhan has turned out to be a one-way traffic. And if we break it down further, let's talk about the VIP seats first here. Mark, if you go to Raghopur, where Tejasvi Yadav is contesting, he's leading now. He was trailing earlier, but if you see the vote margin here, it's a close contest going on between Tejasvi Prasad Yadav of RJD and Satish Kumar of BJP. And Satish Kumar, just a while ago, he was leading against Tejasvi Prasad Yadav, and the vote difference, like I said, is just over 500. If you go to Alinagar district also, so Maithili Thakur, like we said earlier, she's leading with 6,206 votes, and RJD's Binod Mishra is trailing. He has 28,346 votes. And if we talk about other VIP seats also, Imamganj, for example, if we talk about Deepa Kumari from Ham is leading, and look at the vote margin here, 12,869, and she's leading leading against Ritupriya Chaudhary, who has 39,700. These are the early trends that we are telling you, and it looks like now Deepa Kumari has taken a good lead. It looks like she's going to win also, but yes, let's not assume anything. We'll get the results as the day progresses. And if we go back to the region-wise leads also, Marks, and if you go to Mithila here, so if you talk about Mithila in 2020, if we compare it with 2020, 11 seats BJP had won in 2020, 11 here in 2025 also. JDU 9 seats they had won in 2020, 13 here, a margin of 4 seats here. LJP could not open their account in 2020 also. It looks like it's 0 here as of now. It can change also, like we said earlier. And if we talk about other regions also, Simanchal, like we said, it's an important district as far as the voters are concerned. So BJP, they had won 8 in 2020, and in 2025 also they have won 8. These are the early trends, mind you. And it's an important thing, if you look at the JDU factor also, Mark, we are talking about Simanchal in particular. The data is still loading. Yes, this is the JDU factor. In 2015, in Mahagathbandhan, when Nitish Kumar was in Mahagathbandhan, then they had the JDU factor. It has 17 seats. JDU had won 17 seats. And then if you see here, Nitish Kumar and JP Nadda, this factor makes a lot of difference. 16 seats this time around. And if we go back and try to check what other districts are saying. If we go to Kosi here, 13 assembly seats overall. So BJP has had 2 seats in 2020, 2 here in 2025 also. These are the other results that we are showing you, and these are the early trends, I should say. And if you talk about other regions also, important districts, if you talk about, like we said earlier, Patna, Gaya, Bhagalpur, Darbhanga and Muzaffarpur. If we go to Bhagalpur here, so let's take a look at so these are the candidates who are leading from different districts, Bhipur, Sultanganj, Gopalpur, Nathnagar. So most of the candidates are from BJP or JDU. So it's BJP and JDU all around. So, and if you talk about Muzaffarpur also, this is also an important region, important district. So it's BJP and JDU all around. Baby Kumari from LJP is also leading here in Bochanan. So this is primarily the gist basically. And if we go back and try to check what's going on at Nalanda, so the candidates who are winning from Nalanda, who are in fact leading from Nalanda, Harnath, Astman, Nalanda, Rajgir. So these are the candidates who are leading. JDU, the first 4 names, if you see, they are all from JDU. Sunil Kumar is leading from BJP also. It has changed now. So from Islampur, Ruhel Ranjan from JDU is leading. So this is the gist that we have, and numbers could change also. But again, overall, it looks like a clean sweep for the NDA alliance. It might touch the magic figure of 200 also, but yes, looks like a clean sweep for NDA in Bihar elections 2025. Back to you, Mark.
Abhishek, you've helped us understand, how the votes have been divided across the state in greater detail. Let's turn to Mr. Praful Ketkar once again. Mr. Ketkar, clearly Bihar is one of those states which influences the national sentiment a great deal. I mean, it's a politically aware state. It's a state that can define politics at the center. To what extent do you think this election result is going to influence the national narrative?
See, one, Mark, we need to understand that after 2024 general elections for parliament, there was a general, narrative that was created by the opposition, that if opposition comes together, they can actually pull down BJP from the, the single largest party or majority party. that has, there will be friction somewhere between the coalition of NDA, that is between Mr. Nitish Kumar and Prime Minister Modi. Both these narratives are fallen apart. When it comes to, the narratives related to the backward caste and the backward class and the minorities, what we are seeing this election, one, women have definitely shattered the traditional caste arithmetics of Bihar. They have come together in favor of Prime Minister Modi and Mr. Nitish Kumar, irrespective of their caste and community. That is one lesson that Bihar, results have clearly shown. There are 30 seats where Muslim Yadav combination is more than 50%. BJP NDA is leading in those 30 constituencies. There are 60 plus scheduled caste dominated seats in Bihar, and BJP NDA again leading there. There are 110 EBC dominated, that is economically backward classes constituencies. Again, BJP and NDA is leading there. Now, all these factors, clearly show that BJP is consolidating its vote base from a traditional urban-based party to very entrenched, committed voter base with organizational structure, ideology, and strong leadership. Three factors coming together. But what is important for me in coming days, Mark, that this entire narrative of discrediting election commission and the another two states that are going for polls in coming months. One is Assam, the other is West Bengal. Both have a significant, issue of course, the special, revision of electoral rolls. But besides that, there is an issue of illegal immigration and the voters who have, somehow managed to get, their votes registered. How it will play out, because now voters of Bihar have rejected this narrative of vote chori and election commission, playing the narrative of election commission being, in favor of certain combination. That has shattered. Now it will be very interesting. How does it play out in the states like West Bengal and Assam?
Indeed. Amit, would you like to comment on that? Because that is one of the strong aspects in which the opposition was trying to build a narrative around the institutions and, of course, targeting the election commission largely. But that seems to have been discredited by the voters in Bihar quite substantially.
Absolutely, Mark. In fact, the vote chori allegation did not go down well with the voters at all. In fact, they took it too seriously. In fact, social media also played a very important role, and some of the reels which were going around in Bihar in the social media, in fact, people were saying that Modi is not involved in any vote chori or anything. It's we who actually vote for him. And in fact, the vote chori allegation actually translated into more people coming out and voting for JDU and the BJP alliance, and which is very, very clear in the figures right now. RJD is losing almost 45 seats. Absolutely. And I think the alliance between RJD and Congress, in fact, RJD lost more on that, because it seems from what we saw in the social media reels that Congress has totally lost its credibility as far as the voters are concerned. The
narrative itself had affected the RJD. Let's turn to Gautam, who's on the ground. Gautam, it's looking like a two-horse race, but both the horses are running for the same side. And it's the others are nowhere behind. I mean, they were nowhere in the scene. How would you look at this?
Yes, I don't think the pollsters foresaw this as well, although all the exit polls almost unanimously said that it is the NDA which will emerge with at least a simple majority going to two-thirds majority domain. Nobody saw this coming, where the NDA could perhaps be inches away from a 200 mark in a 243-member assembly. That was unimaginable, or maybe if their numbers told them that, they sort of rationalize that in some way, because posters sometimes tend to err on the side of caution. So we don't know if they saw this coming and then did that rationalization exercise, or just didn't see this coming at all. But there were indications that this might be the case because the kind of campaign that was run both by the JDU and the BJP and its other allies like the LJP and others together, Hum as well in the mix. They talked extensively about not just the kind of programs and projects that the Bihar government brought here, but what the centre has done for the state of Bihar as well. So the constant refrain of double engine was there. They had results to show from not just high visibility projects such as the Patna metro or a double-decker flyover or the announcement of the Bakhana border aims of Darbhanga, but even success of in the initial years of the NDA government at the centre, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the Clean India campaign, and then of course Har Ghar Jal campaign as well, where tap water reached village homes for the first time. People got that experience in their lives. That was something that people hold very dear. Apart from that, the way women were really brought into the mainstream and they were included in the development journey of the state as well, which has been growing at 10+% GSDR. That rate, that sort of rate of development has been quite good. Although people do say that on the front of industrialization, setting up big or small or medium-scale industry, there a lot can be done in Bihar. So they have clearly indicated through the increased mandate as well that they trust entrust their faith with Nitish Kumar and the NDA that they can still do it. They see some results coming forth. They see that perhaps the tide of migration that has been going out of Bihar for these decades could slightly even be, I wouldn't say turned around, but at least mitigated to a certain extent if jobs are created here. Not just in the government, by industry as well, coming here, investing here, how Nitish Kumar has been reaching out to industry as well to come and establish their bases here. If those efforts bear fruit,
right,
and these are really game-changing efforts that are being undertaken, but and gradually the perception about Bihar is also changing. Earlier it used to be the kind of faith of Lalu and Ravi that's seen earlier.
Yes.
They used to talk about Jungle Raj, a lot of lawlessness. That have been a pain in Bihar for a very long time, but it's been shown that even with these debilitations, things have turned around. Which is why perhaps we've got a larger mandate coming in for this formulation this time around.
Gautam, we're having a little trouble with your audio, but yeah, we're getting you clearly. However, let me just let's listen to one of the candidates, playback singer and BJP candidate Maithili Thakur from Alinagar spoke about the responsibilities ahead, saying that she is ready to meet the expectations, the high expectations of the people, and serve with full dedication.
मेरे लिए एक सपने जैसा है, लेकिन जो मैंने एक महीने से कैंपेन के दौरान महसूस किया है कि लोगों की बहुत ज़्यादा उम्मीदें, आशाएं मुझसे जुड़ी हुई हैं, तो मैं पूरी मजबूती से अपने सभी कर्तव्यों को निभाने के लिए तैयार हूं.
And the BJP MP Sudhanshu Trivedi spoke about the election trends, saying that the exit polls were on point and expressing confidence that the NDA is moving towards a strong majority. Here's what he had to say.
Exit polls में दिख रहा था कि जो डायरेक्शन दिख रहा था वो सही था, डेस्टिनेशन और अच्छा होने वाला था. मुझे लग रहा है उसी दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. हम 150 पार करके, 250 पार करके अब 200 की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं.
Well, that was taken a little while earlier. Let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue focusing on this massive mandate for the NDA in Bihar. Stay with us.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching our continued coverage of the Bihar elections. We're calling it Election 2025 NDA Sweeps Bihar. Here are the top stories. In the eastern state of Bihar, the latest trends show that the National Democratic Alliance has raced past the 3/4 majority mark. Counting continues amidst tight security. Stellar performance by the BJP and the JDU. Massive celebrations by the NDA supporters at both headquarters, the BJP and the JDU offices. In other news, the Delhi bomber Dr. Umar Mohammad's house in Jammu and Kashmir has been demolished by security forces, and two hybrid terrorists, Shabir Najjar and Shabir Mir, have been arrested on Thursday. Also, security has been tightened across Delhi. A probe into the deadly Red Fort blasts continues, expands, and the traffic police have advised travellers especially to reach the airport early and the railway station early to avoid queues. So let's give you the numbers once again, and as we see, they were on your screens. The BJP is leading in 91 seats. In fact, yes, indeed. And the JDU 81 seats, the RJD 27, the LJP 21, the AIMIM 5, the Congress in 4, and the Hums Party in 4, and others in 10. That's currently the seats. In this fact, this is what we have for you right on our screens. The BJP 91, the JDU 81, the LJP 21, the Congress 4, the RJD 28, the JSP, which is his first time into the electoral fray, 0, hasn't opened its account, and 18 for the others. Let's turn to Amit Mukherjee, who is with us in the studio. Gautam Roy continues to be with us from Patna. Gautam, let's come to you first. There is this talk about the high voter turnout, and largely among youth and women, and the MY factor, as it being talked about as in Mahila and Yuva compared to the Muslim Yadav. To what extent, do these kind of slogans actually carry some weightage on the ground? Because after all, this is a state which discusses politics almost all the time. Gautam, could you hear me?
Yes, I got that.
Yeah, okay.
There is a change going on behind me now at the JDU headquarters in Patna, because people clearly completely reassured now that these trends will not flip in any circumstances the way that they're coming in, where the NDA coalition is heading towards perhaps even 200 marks, which is completely unprecedented. That tells you that the kind of mandate that came in was really resounding. The increase in the number of voters, proportion of almost 9.5-10% zone was completely in favor perhaps of this formulation rather than the rival Mahagathbandhan led by RJD and Tejasvi Yadav completely fallen on their face. Even in Raghupur, it's been a bit of a touch-and-go situation for Tejasvi, who's contesting from there. He's failing now by a few hundred votes. So that in itself tells its own tale. Because that has been a stronghold of the RJD for multiple elections. And in fact, his closest rival, in fact, who's leading him right now, at one time used to contest on that ticket. So that tells its own story. But as far as this mandate is concerned, clearly in favor of the kind of work that's being done and the kind of vision that's been projected for Bihar as well, because Prime Minister Modi has consistently talked about, not just India first, but Bihar first as well. And the kind of projects that have come in, the policies that have been undertaken, the welfareism that has been taken forward, the inclusiveness that has been brought in to bring in different sections of society, women, and even catering to the youth, where, of course, people do feel that more work is required, more jobs need to be created, the aspirations of people still need to be met in the sense that they can, educate themselves here in Bihar and also work here in Bihar. Because most of Biharis still tend to move out of the state looking for better jobs. So that is something they feel is a bit of an unfinished agenda, but they're entrusting this government itself to keep working on that area as well and deliver on that front.
Indeed. Amit, watching election results is like watching, a sporting event or a cricket match or something like that, and we keep looking at the as it's going. But then you also debate on who's playing, right? And we can see that clearly the man who's been batting for 20 years is not out, and he's doing a pretty good job. So they are evaluating really his performance, not in the last 5 years, but of the last 20 years. And they're giving him another term. I mean, 25 years in office. What do you think?
Well, Mark, if you look at the elections in Bihar, both RJD and JDU, they are reaping or, they are suffering because of what they had done in the past. Coming to RJD, they are suffering because the kind of, regime they had given to the state in terms of extortion, in terms of lawlessness. But, I had an opportunity when Nitish Kumar had just completed a year in office. This is in 2007. Within 1 year, he had completely transformed Bihar, and it was so much evident. One thing which everybody talked about in Bihar is during Lalu's time, people had stopped going to the theatre to watch a night show because the lawlessness was...
Amit, I'm told that we are going across to the BJP headquarters. Siddharth Bharadwaj is joining us live from there. He is getting us the mood, but he's also talking to various Karyakartas at the BJP headquarters. Over to you, Siddharth.
Hi Mark, it's absolutely electric atmosphere here at the BJP headquarters, and you can see the sweets, and it's written Modi ji here, and I have with me some party workers. Let's talk to them. कितने खुश हैं? बताइए कितने खुश हैं?
बहुत खुश है। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रचंड जीत से जो एग्जिट पोल निकला उससे भी अधिक प्रचंड जीत से हम बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हैं, और हर एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हर एक कार्यकर्ता की जीत है, हर उस बंदे की, हर उस विधायक की, हर उस सांसद की, हर उस प्रभारी की जो बिहार में लगाए गए थे, हर वो कार्यकर्ता जो 2-2 महीने से वहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं, ये उनकी सबकी प्रचंड जीत है।
जी, ये अब केक अभी तक आपने कटवाया नहीं, ये कब कटेगा?
हम एक बार मोदी जी को बस दिखा दें, उसके बाद ये आपस सारे कार्यकर्ताओं में बढ़ जाएगा।
मैं हमारे चैनल के माध्यम से इट्स गोइंग everywhere in the entire world, and thank you so much for talking to Team India. Mark, you can just see the mood from the party workers and how excited they are here. People are also dancing. As you can see, I would request my camera person to actually pan the camera and show you how the people are dancing here. They have now a complete confidence that the NDA government is making NDA is making a government in Bihar with full majority. And you can see the excitement, the bands here, the people here, and they are dancing. The mood is absolutely electric and enthusiastic here at the BJP headquarters. People have said that, the party leaders have said that this time the people of Bihar have voted for development. The people of Bihar have categorically rejected the Katta Raj and Jungle Raj, and they have voted for the development. The women came out in large numbers, and it's a historic election. When it comes to the voter turnout, it is a historic election. When it comes to the women participation, it certainly goes on to show that people are now aware of their vote. They now understand the value of their vote. And here at the BJP headquarters, you can see the excitement is not just stopping. It's going on in full. So you can see people, holding the BJP flag, and they are now immersed in celebration completely. And the atmosphere here is just electric, Mark. And like I said, people are saying that they have voted for the development. The senior party leaders have said that this time the the lawlessness which used to take place in the state of Bihar, and now they are very happy with the way the current government is functioning, and they want the government to function like that. However, they say that there is more when it comes to development, and they want the financial empowerment, women empowerment, and all other things. But right now here, the celebration has just started, and they are unstoppable. Mark.
Right, Siddharth. So clearly, I mean, the celebrations are intense, but you did mention about the aspirations of the people, what they want. They want financial independence, they want development, they want they want to see progress really, and they have reposed faith in a double-engine government in a sense to deliver that. Stay with us, Siddharth. Let's turn to Amit. He was telling us really about the legacy of Nitish Kumar and how the JDU and the BJP and rather the NDA has reaped the benefits of that. Over to you.
Yeah, Mark, the kind of lawlessness which was witnessed during Lalu's Raj. In fact, when Nitish Kumar had just completed a year in office around in 2007, I had the opportunity of interacting with him. So one of the things which he mentioned was the night shows are going full. So that had become a parameter because the lawlessness was so prevalent out there in Bihar that people were so scared to go out because of extortion, because of, they never knew whether if they step out after sunset, they're going to return back to their homes or not. So he said the night shows are going full. So clearly the fact that people were stepping out to watch the night shows, it showed that he was able to kind of instill faith that law is there. There's something called law and order in that state. And consistently, I mean, he kept on working on those parameters for the last 20 years almost now. He has been consistently developing Gujarat, whether it's in terms of law and order, whether it's in terms of development of infrastructure and all. Infrastructure again is a big thing. So when you construct a good, build a good road, I mean, it not only connects one point to another, but also it generates a lot of ancillary industries, it creates a lot of employment out there. So I think he has been doing a lot of those things. And even if you look at the international level, the tourists who come to Bihar nowadays, Bihar is a big Buddha circuit. And all the tourists who come to Bihar, they only have to talk good things about it. One of the best museums in the country, foreigners say, it's in Bihar. The Buddha circuit which they have developed, around, all those places associated with Buddha, whether it's Bodh Gaya or Lumbini or all those places. I mean, it's doing fantastically well. So not only, the infrastructure has improved, that has also created good employment. And further, there is scope of employment which the governance has kind of able to convey to people. So which is why they want to give another chance, and this time they have done it in a much, much better way. I mean, almost I think the NDA alliance is now almost just too short of about the 200 mark. I mean, the figures which are now coming up.
There you see, 201. The NDA has crossed 201
mark. Yes.
Let's turn once again to Siddharth. Siddharth, Siddharth, can you hear me? Siddharth, in the midst of all the celebration, is finding it difficult to listen to the studio. We will get back to him as soon as we establish contact, and he can tell us about the atmosphere and also put into context, because he has been in Bihar, he was there covering the election, so he can put all this into context for us. So, so you were telling us that the atmosphere has completely changed, but despite that, let's say that the RJD was trying to bring in some sort of narrative. It has been out of power for a while. I mean, it came in briefly because it tied up with Nitish. But the factor that, let's say, this is a state that has a sizable minority population as well, that they also have to feel, in a sense, that, that this sort of an arrangement works for them. Do you think that they are voting, as you said, in many of the minority-dominated areas for the NDA?
Right. In fact, as we were discussing, Mark, I mean, there are about 36 seats which are dominated by the minority communities in Bihar, out of which, BJP and Alliance, the NDA Alliance is doing well in, I think, around 26, which is a fantastic figure, 26 out of 36, which means that, one community which RJD as well as Congress, they were banking on were the minorities. They still live in that era where they think that minorities, no matter what they do, whether they contribute to their development or not, will still continue to vote for them, which again in this particular election, as the numbers are showing us, I mean, that has not worked well for Congress or the RJD. So if BJP is doing well in 14 out of 36 and RJD is again doing well in 10 out of 36 minority dominated area, which means that even minorities, they have faith in Nitish as well as the promises which Prime Minister Modi has been making in terms of development. So clearly that double engine thing which everybody has been talking about, that has worked very well for them. And at the end of the day, it's not caste or community or religion which now the voters are looking at. I think clearly there is some sort of a transition as far as the mindset of
that
voters.
That was coming into my mind as well, exactly. As you were saying that, I was just thinking that people, I mean, a state that is so dominated by caste politics is thinking beyond politics, I mean, beyond that, to a concept of development which does not associate with just caste development.
So actually, when this election is a reflection of a lot of things which are not working the way it used to work 20 years back. If you look at the exit polls also, I mean, none of the, those exit poll conductors, they had given more than 167 seats. I mean, that was the top limit. And that, the results as we see now, that has actually breached.
We can talk about that in a little while. Let's go across to Siddharth once again. Siddharth, can you hear me? Right, Siddharth. So, fill us in. We were talking also, try to put into context the verdict from the aspirations of the people. You were telling us a little bit also about, how what this translates for the people. I mean, the celebrations are obviously because people are expecting something out of the government.
Well, Mark, I'll tell that, but let's we have some person here at the BJP headquarters. Let's talk to him. Do you recognize him?
फिर वही बात, बहुत बदतमीज पत्रकार हो, बट दे देंगे तुम मुक्का नाच के गिर जाओगे। हाँ जी, बताइए। अरे ललटेनिया हमरा बुझ गया भैया, हमरा फिलॉसफी फेल हो गया। हाँ, बोले ये बार घर घर नौकरी, घर घर नौकरी, लेकिन नीतीश कुमार का ये विकास का तीर हमरा ललटेनिया का छेद कर दिया। ये मोदी जी गए बिहार, भाइयों बहनों, जब हर हाथ में फ्लैश है तो लालटेन की जरूरत है क्या? नहीं है क्या?
All right, we just got it. Let's also talk to some other people here. कि कैसा रहा है, किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
ये मोदी जी ने कहा था कि बिहार के अंदर अब लालटेन का काम नहीं है, अब हर घर घर लाइट है। तो लालू जी आए हैं यहाँ पर अपनी लालटेन को लेकर, इनकी लालटेन फेल हो चुकी है। बिहार की जनता ने कह दिया था कि अब की बार विकास के नाम पर वोट करा जाएगा, जंगल राज को खत्म करा जाएगा। फिर से बिहार की जनता ने एनडीए पर विश्वास करा और मोदी है तो मुमकिन, आप देख सकते हैं कि मोदी जी पे पूरी बिहार की जनता ने विश्वास करा है। और एक बात कहना चाहता हूं कि बिहार चुनाव तो एक झांकी है, बंगाल चुनाव बाकी है। अब की बार बंगाल में भाजपा सरकार बनने जा रही, तय हो चुका है।
आप क्या कहना चाहिए?
मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि आप इस कॉमिक कैरेक्टर को देख रहे हैं जो लालू जी बन के आए हैं, यही डिफरेंस होता है दो नेताओं के बीच में। एक हमारे मोदी जी हैं जो एक रिस्पेक्ट के उस शिखर पे हैं कि आदमी दूर से आता है तो उनको नमस्कार करता है, और एक लालू जी ने अपने जीवन में इतने गलत काम किए कि आज उनको एक कॉमिक कैरेक्टर के साथ इतनी बेइज्जती झेलनी पड़ रही।
So you can clearly see, Mark, people are saying that the people of Bihar have clearly given their support to the NDA government, and here the celebrations are going on in full swing, and a while ago the band was also playing and people are dancing. I showed you the live visuals of that. So yeah, definitely the numbers have shown, the numbers speak for themselves, and they have told that this time again in Bihar it is NDA. Back to you, Mark. You were asking me something.
No, thanks a lot, Siddharth, for putting that into perspective for us and also giving us, the comic way in which the celebrations are taking place, and, a sense of satire that is also welcome in Indian politics. Now, let's look at this story. Anamika Paswan, the state spokesperson of the Bihar unit of the Bharatiya Janata Party, expressed her thoughts on how women in Bihar have placed their trust in the NDA.
इस तरह से बिहार में महिलाएं सशक्त हुई हैं, स्वावलंबी हुई हैं और उन्हें स्वरोजगार मिला है। और एनडीए की सरकार में सुरक्षा मिला है, एक भय मुक्त बिहार मिला है, अपराध मुक्त बिहार मिला है, भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त बिहार मिला है। तो महिलाएं अपने आप को बहुत सुरक्षित महसूस कर रही हैं और महिलाओं ने बढ़ चढ़कर इस मतदान में अपना हिस्सा लिया और बम पर वोटिंग की है। एनडीए की सरकार को अपना समर्थन दिया है। महिलाएं बहुत सशक्त हुई, आज बेटियां बेटों की बराबरी कर रही है और हर क्षेत्र में अपना परचम लहरा रही है।
And the BJP Member of Parliament, Manan Kumar Mishra, spoke about the NDA's prospects in the Bihar elections and the public sentiment that he witnessed on the ground. He said that the state's development will help the NDA form the next government.
एनडीए की सरकार 2/3 बहुमत से भी ज़्यादा से आना है। एग्जिट पोल भी दिखाई दे रहा था। हम लोग ग्राउंड पे रहे थे, हम लोग गांव में देहातों में लोगों के बीच में रहे थे, तो सामने था, जनता ये बोल रही थी। ऐसा नहीं है कोई छुपाने वाली बात। महिलाएं बोल रही थी कि मोदी जी और नीतीश जी को वोट देंगे। युवा वोट बोल रहे थे कि मोदी जी नीतीश जी को वोट देंगे। तो एनडीए की सरकार पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ बनेगी, ये बात कोई नई नहीं है, ये जानी हुई बात थी। विकास आप देख लें, बिहार में सड़कें देख लें, बिहार में बिजली की स्थिति देख लें, बिहार में अमन चैन शांति देख लें, तो इन सब का नतीजा है कि आज 2/3 से ज़्यादा बहुमत से हम एनडीए की सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं।
Right. Let's turn once again to Amit, who's keeping a close eye on the elections and helping us put them into context. Amit, so clearly development has changed. I mean, the concept of development is now moving beyond caste, community. It's a collective. I mean, it's development of all. Sabke saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas type of thing. And it's actually resonated after many years.
Yeah. Mark, actually, if you look at this election, it has, shattered a lot of, orthodox beliefs. Like, even if you look at the kind of analysis that these exit pollsters had conducted, the exit polls, they were very conservative in their approach. Again, they were going by the caste. This community will be voting this, BJP. They will be not voting BJP. This particular people from this particular religious community will be voting. But actually, those things have all, kind of, shattered. If you look at, some of the exit polls, the maximum number of seats anybody was giving to the NDA alliance was 167. The matches.
Right.
But again, if you look at the figures now, it is well past the 200 mark. So I mean, the way we have been conducting, analysis of elections and all, the entire thing will have to be put into a new perspective, considering the fact that Prime Minister Modi have now been talking about inclusive election, inclusive participation of people, and consistently he has been talking about development. And this again election which happened in Bihar is a reflection of that. People are kind of identifying with development politics. They have put behind the caste, they have put behind fragmentation in communities and all, and they have all come out and voted, cast their franchise in towards somebody who is giving them, offering them a better life, who is appealing to their aspiration, the aspiration to do well in life, and to be a part of the larger development that is happening in the country. So people have associated with those kind of messaging which the NDA has been putting out, and it is clearly now reflecting on the results right now. Nobody expected NDA to be somewhere close to 200 mark, and here we are looking at a figure which is now well above the 200 mark also.
Indeed, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Amit Mukherjee, for joining us and putting this into context. And Siddharth Bharadwaj for joining us from the BJP headquarters and giving us, the upbeat mood over there. We'll continue to focus on the story in our subsequent programs. But for the moment, we are going to end for the moment. Thanks very much for watching DD India News Hour and our continued coverage of the Bihar elections. Namaskar.